Well, Nathan, second defeat at the bank holiday weekend, 2-0 at Stockton Town this afternoon. Just put that into words for us.
Massively disappointed. You're looking for reaction from Saturday. I think in spells, I think we were very comfortable in the game until the worldie of a goal towards half-time. We're unlucky, obviously, with the disallowed goal. I think that was offside. I think that would have been a key changing point. But overall, we've been dominated physically, bullied, I think, and that's credit to Stockton. And I don't like saying that because we need to be better than that. And when it's not a football game per se, we have to do the hard stuff. And there's not enough of the boys who have done that today. So they've badly let themselves down. And we need to be much better.
Yeah, and you touched on the first half there, and it did feel really that both sides were giving a good account of themselves, getting into good areas. As you mentioned, the worldie of a striker really, but before that Whitby had a couple of decent chances themselves.
Yeah, we're probably the better team, but we didn't have any shots on target to show for it. We were shy to shoot. I get the pitch is sticky and it just wasn't sitting up, but if you don't shoot, you don't score. And that was the message at half time. We needed to shoot more. I think we started the second half very brightly. Obviously the disallowed goal, but another catastrophic error for their second goal, and the game's really to bed at that point. I don't like saying that, but we just folded. We folded, and that comes down to character. It comes down to leadership. We can all talk a great game, but you've got to do it on the football pitch, and that's where you've got to solve your problems. And today we didn't. So that's the massively disappointing thing. It's a big reset for us today. We need to obviously work harder, and the boys know that.
Yeah, and in that second half, touching it earlier, the goal disallowed just after the break, and that could potentially swing the game. But it did feel that second half that pretty much everyone was really off it. Polly Barron, Shane Bland in goal, who really kept the score down to 2-0.
Yeah, the goals change it, don't they? The 1-0 up, we're on the ascendancy. I think with the wind, I would have strongly fancied us based on the first half performance to at least create and get our shots off. They scored at a good time for them, a crucial time. What can you do? You can't legislate for mistakes, and it was a mammoth task at 2-0. The characters weren't there, at the top end of the pitch. You're hoping for one of our players to work a little bit of magic individually, because again they were devoid of service, but we've all just got to work harder across the pitch and try and create something. It's almost like a player taking the game by the scruff of the neck, and we didn't have that. So from their second goal, massively disappointing.
Yeah, and it feels it as well throughout the match. Obviously was substituted off eventually, but the likes of Jake Charles just really felt that whatever he tried to do, just couldn't really get himself involved in the game much.
I'll say give credit to Stockton, the way they defended like big senior non-league men, bullied us, and that's what I'm just talking about. We talk about service, and service is very, very important, but you've got to do something. You've got to work with what you've got, and you've got to try and create things. And Jake will always run his legs off for us. He's done that all season. From the wide areas, we didn't create enough. Our duels, I don't think we've come out on top many times at all, which is disappointing considering the quality of players that we've got. But listen, if you don't score goals, you're not going to win games. And aside from the offside goal, we were very, very poor in the top end, and we've not really created anything.
Yeah, and another disappointment there in terms of that attacking intent was, I think, really no shots on target throughout the match. That's going to be a big concern for you.
Of course it is, but it's non-league football, and these boys can, at the flick of a switch, they can have a great performance, and I know there's a great performance in them. I just think today, missing Hawksy was massive for us. The engine room, we got totally out battled in midfield. That's where lots of games are won and lost in football. It's one of those we could turn up next Saturday and play absolutely brilliant. But listen, we know there's issues. We know we have to be better. We know we need to be more physical, and we can't rely on a technical game on playing football. You've got to really put yourself amongst it, and that's the message for the boys now. It's especially the younger boys. It ain't all pretty all the time on league football. You've got to really put your head where it hurts, and that's what we need to start doing more of.
Yeah, and just looking ahead, it's back in action on Saturday, and I don't know how if you view it as a welcome break from league action, because at the same time you've got to go there and try and get the result in the FA Cup and try and sort of build on last year's run.
Yeah, it's not a welcome break from league action. We love playing games of football. It's days like this where you come away from it massively frustrated, and sometimes you don't like the game. But it's football, it's adversity. We certainly haven't got the points on the board that we'd like, and we certainly haven't put the performances that we like. We need to work harder. We need to, obviously we're training next week, we'll work on certain things, but the boys need to start doing a lot more in their own time now. The only way you improve is by working harder, and you keep working harder, and that's what they've agreed to do. So that's what we'll do. But we need to forget about it, and we need to move on. We don't look back. And like you say, we've got an FA Cup game next Saturday. Great season for us last season in the FA Cup. We obviously want to replicate that. It's going to be tough, but we'll go there and give it a go.
Yeah, it's one of those as well, Mosley, especially being at home, where you feel that against the side in the division above, they're really going to be up for that one. So we're going to have to be right on the game.
Yeah, and obviously it's going to be no different to today. They're going to be up for it. It's a team higher than them. They're going to work very, very hard for each other, and we need to match that. Just as we needed to today, which was said before the game. You've got to win your battles, and you've got to earn the right to play. If we do that, we're a very good footballing side, but you've got to earn the right to play, and that's how it'll be next Saturday on a pitch that we're not familiar with, obviously. And it's an FA Cup game. Anybody can win it, but one thing's for sure, we need to be better than what we were today.
Yeah, I very much.
Thanks.